Baruch, good morning.
Good morning.
This morning we're going to discuss the laws of listening to music during the Omer, at least during the first part of the Omer. So let's start off with the preface as an introduction, what the Talmud says. The Talmud says, ever since the destruction of the Bet HaMikdash, the Jewish people is in an eternal state of mourning until the rebuilding of the Bet HaMikdash, which we know is going to be by the coming of the Mashiach, that we're not supposed to listen to live music. So the Talmud says. Now the Talmud is not halacha lema'aseh. Halacha lema'aseh, practical law, is that if need be, we do listen to music, as we all do all year long, especially by weddings. In Yerushalayim, they have different minhagim by weddings. There are some that only allow a one-person band at a wedding because they're living in the city of Israel, in the city of Jerusalem, and it's still not rebuilt. But practically, that Talmud is not the practical halacha, because we all do listen to music, whether it's live or recorded. Now comes the next step of the Omer. The Omer is a state. The first part is a state of mourning. It's when the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva passed away. And therefore, Chachamim said, along with that mourning that we said that we don't cut hair and we don't shave, and we said we don't wear new clothes, as we learned yesterday, but listening to music is also not to be done during the first part of the Omer. So if we look at the days, it's really not that many days. You have the first 2 days of Pesach, in Chutz La'aretz it's 2 days, and you have the last 2 days of Pesach, which are Yom Tov anyways. The middle of Chol HaMoed, even though the Omer has started, we're still allowed to listen to music, because it's Hag. So it's from after Pesach till Lag BaOmer, which is approximately 3 weeks, and that's all it is. Now, what type of music is not allowed to be listened to? It's as follows. Music, we're obviously talking, as a disclaimer, we're obviously talking about music that should be listened to, that's allowed to be listened to. Obviously, Jewish music that has no vulgar connotations and roughness, and I don't need to explain you what lo aleinu there is out there nowadays. But nice music. As a machloket, can you listen to music being played by a non-Jew that's not vulgar and that is nice? According to the Pshat, you could. According to the Kabbalah, you shouldn't. But everyone does as they see fit. As also, there's the issue of Kol Isha, not listening to the music of another woman. It's her privacy. It's her dignity. Past all of that. Past all the basic laws of listening to music. Listening to music during this time, from after Pesach till Lag BaOmer, we're talking about live music and recorded music. All types of music. So that means not in the car, not at home. So now the question comes, there's something called a cappella. A cappella, it sounds like music, but it's done, the instrumental part of the music is actually done by other people doing stuff with their mouth. Like making a beat, making the sound of different instruments with their mouth. That's called a cappella. So according to the halacha, listening to a cappella is permitted to be listened to during the Omer. Even if, we go so far, even if it sounds almost identical to the real music, you can listen to it, because true joy comes from instruments. Now if a person says, wow, this really sounds like real music, even though it's called a cappella, and you don't want to listen to it, matovu manayim, amazing thing. Next thing I am always asked is, Rabbi, I'm in the restaurant and the music is playing in the background. Is that an issue or not?
No.
So background music is not an issue. If it's blasting and now it's overtaking, that should be lowered. Background music is not an issue. Music while working out is also a big question. And practically speaking, since it's personal and you're controlling it, and you're literally hearing what is taking place, if it's a personal device, then it should be a cappella or a shiur Torah or something else, but not music during the Omer. If you're attending a class and there's music in the class and that's out of your control, and you're definitely not there to dance, it's not a dancing class, it might be a different type of class, but if you're there to do the class and there's background music in the class, even if they're working out to the music, that's definitely not your intention, it's not your control, that would be permitted to be done during the Omer. And again, all of this ends by Lag BaOmer. It's only the haircut which is to the next morning, but the music is finished by Lag BaOmer, which again is May 2nd, Wednesday night in 2 weeks. Bezrat Hashem. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen v'amen. Just, we're going to